Brent, good to see you. A really important question. Is there any reason to use a traditional IRA? And the reason I'm asking is because America's IRA expert, Ed Slott, I know you know him well, recently told other industry experts that an IRA is just an IOU to the IRS. He says he doesn't see any benefit to using a traditional IRA right now because tax rates are so low. Do you agree?
I agree mostly. So we use traditional IRAs still quite a bit for when somebody has an old company 401k and they want a place to park it. So IRAs, you can have a lot more investment options than you would in a 401k, and there's a couple other reasons why that could make sense. But I think specifically what he is referring to is contributing to a a traditional IRA. And I agree with him. Most cases, it does not make sense to put more deferred tax dollars into an account, as the tax rates are as good as they've been in a long time, and they're just at historical lows.
Right. And we've seen where they could be. So that makes a lot of sense. Explain, though, why a tax deduction is more attractive when rates are high.
So when rates are high, when you put those money into a pre-tax bucket, like a traditional IRA, you're going to save those taxes today. Okay. So if the rates are at 30%, that's a much better benefit than if they were at 10%, let's call it, just easy math. But the problem with it is it's a loan, because one day you're going to have to pay the taxes on that amount and the gains that you earn on that. And so, as we all know, compounding interest is a phenomenal thing. That's going to build up, and you're going to have all these decades of gains and principal that you now owe taxes on in retirement. And so that's kind of what he's saying, is it's a ticking time bomb.
So let's say that you converted all your tax deferred accounts. Slot says, theoretically, you've lowered your tax bill for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And so what you've done is you're paying the taxes today. Okay. So by converting all of that, that's the big downside, is you got to pay the taxes today, but they're at historical lows. So now you've got this bucket of money, and if you have $1 million in a Roth, you have $1 million. If you have $1 million in a traditional IRA, you owe a government a lot of money, and you don't quite have that full balance. So another big benefit is once you get to a Roth, you don't have to do an RMD on that, which is a required minimum distribution. So right now at 73, anybody with a traditional IRA, they have to start taking money out of that, which essentially creates a tax burden.
Right.
So I see what he's saying there. By getting the taxes handled today, you can let it grow, because now your principal is tax free, and the big benefit is your interest is tax free. And so you have saved taxes for the rest of your life.
How about then investing in a brokerage account instead of an IRA? At least with a brokerage, there's no debt, no deal with the government there.
So a brokerage account's kind of similar to a Roth, kind of different. So you're putting after tax dollars. You've already paid the government on these. But the big benefit of the Roth is those gains that you earn, you're not going to pay taxes on. In a brokerage, you will still most likely owe taxes on the dividends, interest, and gains. So we utilize these accounts quite a bit. It's usually for higher net worth clients, but they can be very beneficial if somebody wants to retire early and it's pre-65 when they can get on Medicare. There's some strategies there that if you've got a nice brokerage balance, you can get retired a little bit early. So they're good accounts. We use them often, and I could argue why you would want to use that over a traditional IRA.
Interesting. There's so many moving parts. I mean, we hear headlines like this, but clearly there's no cookie cutter answer. If somebody wants to talk to you more about how they can be properly tax diversified, what's the best way to reach you?
614-430-8383 or young-wm.com. We would love to talk about it. And these videos are great, but everybody's situation is different. So you have to take it with a grain of salt and make the call, because we want to talk through it and make sure what's best for you, not a broad statement.
Right. Absolutely. Well said. Brent, thank you very much.
Thank you.